Pati pala sa Indonesia, mga boss, malala rin yung scatter. Kala ko sa Pilipinas lang.
With just a click, fortunes are won and lost.
Kemenangan terbesar itu sempat saya win.
Alam mo ba't mas makatarungan, boss, mag-promote ng... Parehas mali naman, boss. Ha? Parehas mali na mag-promote ka ng betting site na for NBA. Tapos mag-promote ka ng scatter. Parehas mali doon, boss. Pero laging merong mas. Pero sa akin, mas mali yung mag-promote ka ng scatter. Ito opinion ko lang, boss, ha. Doon sa scatter, boss, 100% yun, iaasa mo yun sa RNG. Pure luck yun, boss. As in, 100% ng mapapanalunan mo doon, 100% ng matatalo mo doon, naka-base ka sa luck. Pero, iba yun sa NBA. Iba sa mga betting site ng sports. Pero hindi ko sinasabing tama mag-promote ng sports. Parehas mali yun, boss. Meron lang talagang mas mali. Opinion ko, mas mali yung aasa ka sa pure luck. Compare dun sa, for example, merong mga laban sa NBA na alam mong hindi na nila kailangang ipanalo. So, for example, kahit matalo sila this game, pasok pa rin sila sa playoffs. So, pwede kang sumugal ngayon na kahit sobrang lakas ng team na yun, possible nilang hindi seryosohin kasi matalo sila sa game na yun, pasok sila sa playoffs. So, may mga ganong factor. So, merong skills na involved sa pagbebet sa sports betting and walang skills na kailangan sa paglalaro ng scatter. Scatter kasi parang rig. Hindi ko alam kung rig siya pero laging sa sugal, boss, nananalo lagi yung may unlimited funds. Pagdating sa scatter, boss, nananalo lagi yung may unlimited funds. Hindi mo naman laging hindi mo kayang bankruptin yung yung casino, boss. Sa NBA hindi naman siya chances. Hindi siya pure chances lang, boss.
Dia atau tarik dananya itu sebesar 250 juta.
Southeast Asia has become an online gambling mecca. Its value, some $73 billion by 2030.
If you go around Manila, for example, you will see a lot of billboards advertising all of these online gaming services.
Bibihira na lang yung mga umaattend sa mismong casino para lang maglaro. Kumbaga karamihan na sa online na po talaga.
But the tide is turning on this once
convenient kasi. Sobrang convenient kasi pag sa online ka lang tataya, hugutin mo lang yung cellphone mo sa bulsa, makakataya ka na eh. Kaya nga kung gusto mong tumigil sa pagsusugal, boss, kung gusto mong matigil yung addiction mo sa online sugal, pumunta ka sa casino. I-hustle mo yung sarili mo ng magsugal. Magbibihis ka, magpapabong ka, mag-aayos ka para hindi ka mukhang dugyot pagpasok mo sa casino. Tapos mamamasay ka kung wala kang sakyan or itadrive mo yung sarili mo. So gawin mong hustle kung gusto mo talagang matigil yung paglalaro mo ng online sugal. Possible makatulong sa yun. Pero hindi ko sinasabing 100% matitigilan mo yung pagsusugal dahil doon.
Industry. In July, the Philippines joins its ASEAN neighbors in banning online gambling operators.
Effective today,
Pogos.
Pogos are banned.
Why has the Philippines' bet on online gambling turned bad?
These Pogo bosses have made the Philippines as their scamming playground.
These online casinos can serve as a money laundering machine.
And is the game up for online gaming operators?
Meron silang certain perception na still they can gain money to change their life.
Nakaka-addict dyan yung babawiin mo yung talo mo eh. Yun ang nakaka-addict. Kahit sa crypto, boss, pinabasa akong post, bakit sobrang daling mag-cut loss pero sobrang hirap mag-take profit. Parang ganun siya. Hindi pa.
These detainees have just been rounded up after a raid by the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission in the Philippines on the 31st of October. Many of them are foreigners.
Pero tingin ko dyan, boss, kung ang nakaupo pa rin sa gobyerno ngayon is yung dating nakaupo nung pumasok yung mga Pogo, feeling ko hindi nila gagalawin yung Pogo kasi baka nag-gain sila sa pagpapasok ng Pogo. Ngayon, yung current na administration o sino man yan, wala silang nag-gain sa mga pumasok nung time na yun. So walang mawawala sa kanila, walang bridges na kailangang i-burn kung sakaling ipapaklose nila lahat ng Pogo ngayon.
Leave the country after processing
Tingin ko
their
parte pa rin siya ng
biometrics.
ng politika kung bakit na-close talaga yun.
They were working in a sector that has just been outlawed by the Philippine President Ferdinand
Hindi naman natin
Marcos
sure. Hindi
Jr.
naman natin sure.
Online
Tingin ko lang
casinos
naman yun, boss. Hindi ko naman sinasabing totoo yun. Tingin ko lang naman, boss. Kasi parang napakadali sa kanilang ipasara. And dahil ipinasara nila, hindi ko sinasabing mali Marami silang naapektuhan, which is medyo malaking chunk talaga ng condominium, mga condos sa Metro Manila ngayon ang nagiging oversupply or tumataas yung vacancy rate kasi nawala yung Pogo. So hindi yung nakita ng mga owner na nag-invest 5 years ago nung pumasok yung mga Pogo. Akala nila tuloy-tuloy na yan. Akala nila parang call center lang yung setup niya na hindi na mawawala yung mga Chinese dito. So yun yung market na naapektuhan, hindi lang yung Pogo. So maraming naapektuhan mga boss.
known here as a Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO.
Effective today, all POGOs are
Totoo rin yan. Sa Gcash ka makikita mo
The grave abuse and disrespect to our system of laws must stop. Kailangan nang itigil ang panggulo nito sa ating lipunan at paglalapastangan sa ating bansa.
So POGOs are online gaming entities or companies that is usually foreign owned. In this case, most of these entities are Chinese organizations or Chinese entities.
Pero kasi ang hirap kasi sa Pogo, ang sinasabi nila, kung hindi 100% siguro mga 95% pababa, kung hindi man 100%, scam daw talaga Kaya yun ang mahirap, boss. Naalala nyo na may promote yung mga streamer, hindi ko na sasabihin kung saang game yung nalaro nila. May promote sila na invite, nalimutan ko lang yung pangalan, na parang magtatanim ka lang tapos makikita ka na pero mas malaki yung kikitain mo pag nakapag-invite ka. Tingin ko Chinese may-ari nun, boss.
Before the COVID-19 pandemic,
Yan.
there were nearly 300 licensed POGOs operating in the country. These firms mainly hired foreign nationals, with many coming from China to cater to Chinese punters. At its peak, there were an estimated 300,000 Chinese workers employed by POGOs.
Tingnan nyo, pansinin nyo, boss. Yung pinapakita talaga nila, more yung setup talaga ng yung pure RNG. Hindi nila masyadong, ewan ko lang, papakita nila dito soon yung betting site ng sports. Kung papakita nila. Pero ito talaga yung nakaka-addict, boss Napakadali niyang tayaan. Anytime pwede mong laro tayaan. Hindi katulad ako, kung nataya ako, boss, madalas nataya lang ako pag may laro yung GSW, pag may laro sila Lebron, dun lang ako nataya. Pero the rest, wala akong pakialam. Dito kasi, anytime na i-pull out mo to sa bulsa mo yung cellphone mo, or basta mahawakan mo yung cellphone mo, once na makita mo yung icon ng app, pwede mo na siyang laruin. Regardless kung anumang oras yan, kung agising mo lang, kung naalipungatan ka, pwede mo siyang laruin anytime. Kaya sobrang addicting siya, boss. Kasi pwede mo siyang ulit-ulitan anytime.
And so if you add up the cost on the construction industry, on the property industry, on the landowners, on the food and beverage industry, logistics industry, those car companies that provide cars for all of this, if you add up, that's a few $1 billion.
Kaya kung naalala nyo, boss, diba, nung pinanood natin yung kay Boss Dogs, hindi niya maano yung sahod niya doon regarding sa affiliate or partner something ng pagpo-promote ng something. Hindi niya ma-promote. Kasi feeling ko parte nun is yung kinikita niyang commission and yung bayad sa kanya upfront nung sugal. Yung win for something ba yun? Feeling ko lang naman, boss. Di ko sinasabing yun. Baka may iba siyang brand deals. Yun, brand deals pala. Pero tingin ko isa sa brand deals na yun yung sugal. Pero tingin ko sobrang laki nun, boss. Kasi may nag-comment nga dito isang beses, sabi nila parang nagpapatayo na daw si Doggy ng sariling ospital. Hindi ko lang alam. Alam nyo ba kung magkano magpatayo ng building ngayon, boss? Kung magkano gagastusin dyan? Makukuha, siguro malaki yung kikitain mo sa streaming. Pero kung streamer ka sa Pilipinas tapos nawala na yung mga deal ng ML na hindi na ganun kalaki daw, sila na naman nagsabi noon, wala na rin brand deal sa Facebook, more on asa na lang sa mga ads, tingin ko hindi mo kaya makapagpatayo ng ospital eh. Hindi ko sure kung totoo yung sinabi ng viewer noon pero yun yung sinabi nila na sana dumating daw yung time na makapagtayo daw ako ng ospital tulad nung kay Boss Dogs. Pero malabo talaga, boss. Sobrang labo. Sa akin kung streaming lang talaga. Kung walang brand deal sa sobrang laki, malabo talaga.
In the Philippines, this billion-dollar industry will be no more. Officially, at least. But how did online gambling grow so large in the Philippines and the rest of Southeast Asia in the first place? As in most cases like this, it starts by following the money.
It's a relatively new phenomenon that we've seen expand
Malabo
over the
talaga,
past 10-15 years or so, mainly targeting a very specific market in the region, mainly targeting China at the time.
Gambling is illegal in most of China, the exception being the special administrative region of Macau. But following a series of illegal capital outflows from China to Macau, the Chinese government launched an anti-corruption and money laundering campaign in 2014. It set a limit of $50,000 per person, which could be transferred out of mainland China. Capital controls drove casino operators into neighboring Southeast Asia.
So originally a lot of this was not so much an online phenomenon, but more an issue of land-based casinos, which have existed in the Mekong region for quite a long time. There are some countries that are more affected, looking at Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, for example.
Cambodia was welcoming to these Chinese investors. So if you go to Sihanoukville, it used to be a sleepy seaside town. Then it went to become a booming city. Then when the Cambodian government and the Chinese government cracked down on these online casinos because they were seen as operations of criminal syndicates, So when the crackdown happened in 2016, they moved their operations to the Philippines.
Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
The clampdown coincided with the start of former President Rodrigo Duterte's term, and he opened the country's doors to these offshore gambling operators. They were legalized, with operating licenses regulated by the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, or PAGCOR.
When President Duterte assumed office, the obvious was his pivot to China. He welcomed Chinese investments and encouraged partnerships with China during his time. And back then, POGOs were branded as companies that can contribute a lot to the Philippine economy because of the tremendous investments that will accompany its entry in the country.
And during COVID, what happened was that a lot of the people that would travel to the casinos just couldn't travel there anymore. And that's when a lot of places moved to the online space, and that's where the online gambling also came.
So in other words, you have an online gaming operated in the Philippines but played by foreigners, mostly Chinese nationals.
So ang talaga, ang market pala nila, ang target market pala nila Chinese, hindi naman pala Pilipino. Pero feeling ko may to-market na rin sila ng Pinoy eh.
Online gambling work. Former poker worker Jerome Nerva explains.
Ang mga player po bago po makapag-start maglaro is first kailangan po nilang i-download yung app. May mga app po na wala po sa Play Store na kailangan link lang. Kasi hindi ko po alam kung yun, alam niyo na po yan. Ang mga games lang naman po is mga online betting lang din naman po. Kung saan naglalaro, kung yung player is gusto maglaro ng mga online scatter, yung mga online casino, even yung mga iLotto, kasama rin po dun sa mga platform po na yun. Dun po sila pwede maglaro sa mga app na yun.
Like regular casinos, some online gaming sites would hire dealers to interact with punters. What's more,
Ano ba yan?
some sites would up the
Live ba yun? Live ba ng ano yun? Live ba nilang... Etong taon to, live ba to, boss? O recorded? Parang bawal kasi ata sa China yung gambling kaya dito... Hindi, bawal nga daw talaga, boss. Bawal talaga? Live to?
act with punters. What's more, some sites would up the ante by gamifying the experience, adding mobile gaming elements like loot boxes and level ups to keep gamblers hooked.
Ang dami ko nakikita na it's supposed to be like a video game lang. But it turned out to be a gambling game or a gambling app na ano, yung platform niya na supposed to be just for fun, nagkaroon ng betting scheme. Mas attracting kasi akala nila madaling manalo.
For a while, the gamble paid off. In 2020, just taxes collected from Pogos amounted to over
130 million in taxes. Kaya ngayon sobrang ito, Bingo Plus. Casino Plus pala to. Pero Bingo Plus na ba ito ngayon? Di ko alam. Yung Bingo Plus ngayon ang pinakamatunog, no? Yun, registered pa ng Pagcor.
7 billion pesos, around 130 million US dollars. According to Stellar Market Research, the Asia-Pacific online gambling market was valued at 36.
Siguro hindi pa ramdam ngayon, pero darating yung time na tataas talaga yung crime rate. Feeling ko lang tataas yung crime rate habang tumataas yung tao na nag-a-adapt dito sa online sugal na to, especially sa scatter. Feeling ko tataas yung crime rate, boss.
Billion US dollars last year. By 2030, the figure is expected to double to 73 billion US dollars. However, despite the returns, there is now a pushback in Southeast Asia against these offshore gaming outfits.
Since 2019, we've seen a good number of legal pogos become a breeding ground for scamming activities, namely kidnapping, murder, torture, human trafficking. So we've been conducting a lot of raids.
Dami na sugal na app, magandang negosyo pa utang. Actually, boss, meron dito sa amin. Ito totoong story to. Meron dito sa amin. Hindi naman siya bobo, boss. Actually, boss, matalino naman siya. Kaso ngayon, scatter din siya, boss eh. Na-addict siya sa scatter. So, yung unang time, nasambot pa siya ng magulang niya, nabayaran kasi parang tinatakot na siya ng mga tao na pinagkautangan niya. This time, boss, kasi nung first time marami pang tumulong eh. Tumulong yung mga kamag-anak sa ibang bansa, tumulong yung mga kaibigan, tumulong yung kamag-anak, tumulong yung mga kapatid. So nung time na yun, madali pang solusyonan. Ngayon pangalawa na kasi ngayon, boss. Sobrang hirap na. So marami nang hindi tumutulong sa kanya kasi parang ang nangyayari, parang every time na maiipit siya, hingi lang siya ng tulong. So ngayon, ang alam ko, parang binibenta na nila yung bahay nila dahil doon, boss. Ganun kahirap. Ganun kahirap ma-addict sa sugal. Kahit anong sugal, sports betting man yan or scatter. Sobrang hirap ma-addict sa sugal. Kailangan talaga dyan, boss, especially dapat alam mo yung limitation mo dyan eh. Dapat alam mo kung ilan lang yung kaya mong patalo. Yun ang tignan mo. Tignan mo kung ilan yung kaya mong patalo. Huwag kang tumingin sa lagi mo may papanalo.
Lately,
dito talaga sa amin, boss.
To be able to pin down the criminal masterminds behind these pogos.
The police reported a total of 5,800 victims of pogo-related crimes between 2017 to this May.
Tatama si David. Possible din yan, boss.
This one in Bamban, Tarlac, was raided in March. This 10-hectare complex housed gambling operators and scam centers where human trafficking victims were forced to work.
Someone was able to escape from here.
Kaya isa rin sa tingin ko, boss, kung bakit politika yung isa sa mga dahilan kung ba't pinatanggal yung pogo. Kasi unang-una, boss, tignan nyo sinabi naman kanina, ewan ko kung gaano katotoo yun. Ang target market ng mga nagpopogo dito is mga Chinese din. Kasi meron dati nung nagtatrabaho sa condo. Pag Chinese doon, hindi talaga sila marunong mag-English. So, sobrang hirap siguro sa kanila kung ang target market nila is English, yung language. So, dahil tinanggal nila yung Pogo, nabawasan yung taxes na pwedeng makuha ng Pilipinas. Nabawasan yung taxes na pwedeng makuha ng mga Pilipinas susugal. Ay sa mga nagre-renta ng offices, sa mga nagre-renta ng mga condo para tira ng mga Chinese. So tingin ko, nabawasan lang yung income ng Pilipinas sa pagtanggal ng Pogo. Ngayon, mali nga yung Pogo. Tandaan nyo, boss, dumating lang dito yung 2016 sa atin yung Pogo. Kasi tinanggal yan kung nasan dati yung Pogo. So ganun pa rin, napigilan ba natin yung Pogo? Hindi naman, boss, lumipat lang sila ng lugar. Kaya din yung sinasabi ko dati, kung naalala nyo, binanggit ko yun sa live nung nag-react tayo doon sa ni Nico David. Doon sa, ewan ko, re-replay ko, papayita ko rin yung gagawin ko ng clip yun. Sinabi ko na yun na hindi mo mapipigilan mo man yung isang content creator na mag-promote ng sugal. Kung mapigilan mo yun, ganun din, dahil may budget yung sugal, maghahanap lang sila ng ibang content creator na tatanggap nung sugal, nung deal. Same thoughts, boss. Politics ang talaga, saka yung mga taong di nakatapos, nakaramdam ng mataas na sahod dyan. Feeling ko talaga involve yung may part na involve yung politika dahil hindi pumasok sa... Kasi boss, ganyan naman dito sa atin eh. Hindi ko naman sinasabing lahat. Pero may mga nakita na ako ng mga mayor na after ng termino nila, yung papalit sa kanilang mayor, hindi tatapusin yung project. Kahit alam nila na makakatulong sa taong bayan yun, boss, hindi nila tatapusin yung project. Kasi alam nila na kapag tinapos man nila yon, makikredit yon dun sa nagsimula ng project, hindi sa kanila na tumapos unless itatatak nila yung pangalan nila dun. Lalagyan nila ng initials nila. So ganyan kasi dito, boss eh. Ang hirap ng ano dito eh. Yung mga taong bayan talaga yung kawawa kapag nagkakaipitan na sa politika.
Basically, Vietnamese. He said he was sold here. He was made to believe that he was working as a chef, but at the end of the day, he became a scammer. Then a Malaysian national.
Yun nga lang, scamming kasi siya, kaya ang pangit din talaga.
Police attaché, his embassy here, and he showed the torture marks.
Pogos must be registered with PAGCOR.
Ano mga boss, sorry hindi ko kinakampihan yung Pogo, pero kailangan lang natin maging open-minded naman, boss, na hindi naman natin kinakampihan yung Pogo. Ang atin lang, boss, ano ba talaga yung reason? Ba't ngayon lang napatanggal yung Pogo? Para pumangit ba yung pangalan ng mga nagpapasok ng terminal na yun? Kung sino mga nakaupo? Hindi ko alam kasi maraming nagko-comment ng ganun, boss eh. Basahin niyo yung mga comment section. Pag mga ganun, boss. Ginawa lang daw yun para siraan yung mga termino na kung kailan time yung pumasok yung mga Pogo dito.
Bunyan Technology Incorporated, which was housed in this complex, held a valid license. Yet criminal activity proliferated beneath this cover of legality.
When we came over, we found scam hubs all over this area.
Ang problema din dito sa Pilipinas, bawal magtayo ang mga foreigner. Hindi, yun ang pinakatama, boss. Kasi sa dami ng pera, laki ng pera ng for example na lang sobrang laki ng sahod sa US. And kung ang tao sa US titira sa Pilipinas and remote lang yung trabaho niya, tapos pwede siyang magtayo ng negosyo dito, sobrang laki na ng kikitain niya, boss. Sobrang magiging masarap yung buhay niya. And hindi lang siya limited sa isang tao. Kung merong 100 tao na gano'n na Amerikano na gano'ng kalaki yung sahod, sabihin na nating minimum siya doon sa bansa nila. Pero remote. Pero hindi minimum sa atin yun. Hindi 15,000 yun eh. Hindi $270 ang monthly minimum ng mga bossing. So kung dadalhin nila dito yun, halos sa kanila lahat mapupunta lahat ng lupa dito. Kaya dapat lang talaga na hindi sila pwedeng bumili dito nang wala silang kapartner. Alam ko pwede silang bumili once na may kapartner na silang Pinoy. So yun ang loophole naman, boss. Naghanap lang sila ng kapartner. Yung solusyon dyan mag-asawa. Lagi naman ganyan ang solusyon eh.
Two rows of rooms.
Oo, possible sa kanila yan eh. Yung
Probably
ganyan. 1
around
month sa atin, 1 day sa
14
kanila.
rooms. All in
Ubus
all,
yan lupa dito boss pag
functioning
inalaw
as
natin
some
yan.
farms. You see a lot of red flags. One, if you see a script. Second, you see a number of profiles on social media in one monitor. Say 30 Facebook profiles all at the same time. So meaning to say the spammers
lagi mo mahahanapan eh.
We see thousands of all-in-one computers, thousands of SIM cards, hundreds of phones. Most of these scammers are hiding behind a veneer of legality. That is why for the president to be able to once and for all do away with all of these problems, he simply banned them all together.
How did the POGO industry boom, once thought to be a promising source of revenue under Duterte, become a hotbed for criminal activity? Jerome started working at a POGO last November. He landed the job in a week. Working there, he could earn as much as $680 a month.
40K?
Kung i-compare po yung salary nung sa POGO, kung i-compare po yung salary nung nasa corporate po ako before, is halos nag-times 2 po yung salary. Yung father ko, medyo naging 50-50 po sa work. Hindi po alam kung matatanggal or ma-retain. Kaya po, nag-decide po ako pumasok sa POGO kasi yun nga po, malaki nga po yung salary. And nakatulong naman po siya sa bills, sa expenses po, sa baon, sa mga medical expenses.
Pero ang laki nun? Ang laki nun 40K kung may pagkakataon ka. Hindi mo na kailangan may sakit yung tatay mo para pumasok sa ganung kalaking sahod eh. Sobrang laki nun, 40K a month, bossing. Tapos, baka remote pa yung trabaho.
Payments and customer relations. While POGO workers were mainly Chinese foreign nationals, 2 in 10 were Filipino.
So may Pinoy din pala
POGO
talaga.
firms hired 10 to 20,000 Filipino workers annually. As of this year, there were over 30,000 direct and indirect Filipino workers employed in the POGO industry. Indirect workers refer to security staff, janitors, and drivers.
Pinakamarami na po na employee na napasukan ko sa isang office is mga nasa 200 plus po. Doon po sa maraming employee po na yun, halo-halo po. Ando doon na rin po yung boss, yung mga TL, tapos yung mga encoder, tapos karamihan po CSR. Maraming benefits, maraming bonus, tapos depende sa office nyo. Halimbawa yung office nyo, within a month, kumita kagad ng malaki-laki. May binibigay sila mga Jollibee, Starbucks.
Sarap, Starbs.
The promise of job creation was one reason why President Duterte welcomed POGOs. POGOs also contributed to government revenue. Through licenses granted by PAGCOR, POGOs generated millions of dollars through application and renewals,
2018.
as well as fines and penalties. At the same time, it benefited the property and services
yung
sector.
condo talaga.
So when POGOs came in during the past administration, there was a lot of demand for real estate, for condominiums, for office spaces.
Yan yung dahilan, boss, kung bakit mukhang oversupply ngayon yung condo. Kasi nawala yung POGO. Ngayon, mukhang nagkakaroon ng crisis sa condo dahil yung libo-libong Chinese and libo-libong Pilipino na hinire nila, for example, dito nagtatrabaho, yung iba taga malayong lugar pa, sila yung uupa dito, yun yung mga nawala. For example lang, boss, hindi ko naman sinasabing POGO to. For example lang naman. Sarap dyan sa POGO dahil benefits sa trabaho pero laki yung sweldo. Ano daw kasi, scam kasi, boss. Kumbaga, scam, sabi ng mga nina. Scam daw yung majority talaga ng POGO. Hindi man lahat, pero majority.
And purchase of land. And of course, when these POGO
Di lang real estate boss, lahat ng SUV, van ng Toyota o boss parati ngayon daming pinapa-assume at murang. Oo nga, totoo yan. Totoo yan boss. Kasi dati kapag papasok sila, sabay-sabay talaga boss. Isang van lang sila, nakasakay na sila, susunduin, babalik van ulit. So nawala rin yun. Madaming naapektuhan, daming nawalan ng trabaho na Pinoy, ang daming naapektuhan ang businesses, ang daming nagsarang businesses, ang daming nareremata na kondo, nareremata ng sasakyan nung nawala sila. Pero mali ba yung ginawa ng gobyerno? Tingin ko tama lang. Pero sana kasi hindi na nila pinapasok from the start. Ngayon, napapasok na kasi. Hindi ko alam kung anong mas tama. Pinasara ba dapat nila or hindi. Pero kasi ang mas naapektuhan talaga yung mga tao eh. Ngayon, napasara nila yung... Ito lang mga boss, ito kasi yung thinking ko dyan. Napasara nila ngayon yung mga pogo. Nawala ba yung mga online sugal? Nasolve ba natin yung addiction ng mga tao sa online sugal? Hindi naman eh. Nawalan lang ng trabaho yung mga taong nagtatrabaho sa pogo. O walang alternative. Sobrang wala. Wala talagang alternative bago ipasara yung mga yan. Hindi naman natin nabukasan yung ano eh. Na-focus lang natin yung mga tao ngayon na maglaro sa mga pag-approve na online sugalan.
Entities operated, they need power, they need food, they need internet services.
Alam ko hindi yata.
But in 2019, President Xi Jinping called on Duterte to ban online gambling in the Philippines. China expressed concerns over criminal activities in the industry, which was dominated by Chinese foreign nationals. The Philippine Anti-Money Laundering Council also reported suspicious activities linked to POGO transactions worth $237 million between 2017 to 2019.
So this
ay, di ko alam talaga. Meron pa rin.
Serve as a money laundering machine. For example, you earn money from drugs, or you earn money from stealing cryptos from other countries. And then you bring this money in the casino, you buy chips. Once they go out of the casino, you can declare them as casino earnings. Then therefore they're clean. You pay your taxes and so on. And this clean money can now move to buying properties in different countries, buying luxury cars or luxury...
Bakit kailangan pa nilang magsugal? Kung crypto naman, pwedeng gawing money laundering. NFT pwedeng gawing money laundering eh. Bakit parang pogo na lang ngayon na may kasalanan para sa money laundering? Oo, isa siyang way para magkaroon ng money laundering. Pero bago pa magkaroon ng online sugal, may money laundering na sa crypto. Ginawa, actually boss, may ewan ko kung nabasa nyo rin yun. Merong mga crypto na sobrang secure niya na pwede mong pambili ng mga illegal items tapos untraceable ka. Pero sa ngayon, sa mga crypto natin, especially kung mga idadaan mo sa Binance, idadaan mo sa ibang exchange, traceable ka eh. Matitrace yun kasi meron yan laging transaction hash kung saan galing yung mga token mo.
Goods and all of the stuff. So that's the entire business model.
Pero kapag ipapasok mo sa sugal, ganun din eh. Ilalabas mo rin naman yun eh. Matitrace pa rin sa'yo. Walang way na ipapasok mo yan sa sugal nang hindi matitrace eh. So ganun pa rin. Sa crypto pa rin. Kung sa crypto mo siya idadaan, matitrace ka rin. Black market crypto daw pag pangbili doon, di ba? Ako nga parang nabasa ko rin yun eh. Merong crypto na hindi ka matitrace. Pero dapat matitrace ka kasi may transaction hash lagi.
According to China's Ministry of Public Security, an estimated $145 million of illegal capital flowed out of China in the first 9 months of 2020 through offshore casinos and gambling websites. Despite reports of criminal activities associated with POGOs, Duterte defended the gaming outfits as clean and said that the country needed them for revenue and jobs. So the operations were allowed to remain open, even as COVID-19 hit. But things would change after the pandemic.
Well, primarily because...
Kaya ako, idol ko talaga si Duterte pre. Magagawin niya lahat. Makatapak man siya ng ibang bansa. Ayun nga, for example dito. Makatapak man siya ng ibang bansa as long as kikita yung mga kababayan niyang Pilipino. Ako boss, isa sa pinagsisisihan ko, hindi ko talaga siya binoto nung tumakbo siya. Pero nung nakaupo na siya, sobrang lakas ng dating niya. Talagang nagka-COVID lang, pre. Kung hindi nagka-COVID, ang dami niya talagang ang dami niyang pinapagawa. Ang dami rin naman natapos na project. Ngayon ba, boss? Ano bang project natin ngayon sa bagong presidente? Ako hindi ko alam eh.
When the COVID pandemic set in, so a good number of Chinese were out of the country. So it sort of depleted the human resource of these activities, of these POG operations. So to be able to recoup their losses, they had to go into scamming activities. Primarily, for example, online fake shopping and big butchering. You've got cryptocurrency scam, Bitcoin scam, investment scam. So just about any type of scam out there.
So, feeling ko rin.
Online scammers, these POGO bosses have made the Philippines as their scamming playground.
Reports of foreigners and Filipinos deceived into working at POGOs and forced to scam victims surfaced.
Ilang pinakamasama dyan, ang scam talaga.
Cases of human trafficking and forced labor in another gambling hub, Sihanoukville in Cambodia.
They were being invited to work certain jobs, and when they come here, little did they know that they will be employed in a POGO hub, and they soon discovered that this is not regular.
Paano ba naging
employment.
scam? Parang hindi, bukod sa online sugal, parang meron sila talagang operations sa mga scam eh.
Right? They were given quotas. There are a lot of restrictions given to these foreigners or even local employees. There are also reports that when they don't meet their quotas, they're being tortured by the managers of these POGO hubs.
Grabe, no?
They're not even allowed to go out of the compound. Okay, so it's kind of restrictive and it's kind of shady.
Hindi ko sure eh, baka.
Actually, na-shock po kasi hindi ko ma-imagine na nangyayari pala yun sa talaga. Yun nga lang, sabi ko, paano magkakaroon ng torture? Sa mga napasukan ko, wala naman. Yan.
We've seen hundreds of thousands of people being trafficked in the region to work in some of these centers with a lot of violence and terrible things happening in some of them. So it's really a convergence of different types of criminality, and underlying all of this, there continues to be a very strong flow of illicit financial flows, which really is part of what makes this region so attractive to criminal actors, because it's very easy to use that very system that was set up, using the different casinos, different types of online gaming operations, using new technologies like cryptocurrencies to move money within the region that might be generated in one country and might be needed in another country without ever touching really the formal banking sector.
Oo nga, no?
While PUGCOR only allocated 50 POGO licenses, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission found 300 outfits operating this year. It turns out that legal...
Buti walang, ito boss, off topic lang. Buti walang gobyerno na nag-iisip na na magpiprint sila ng sobrang daming pera. Possible ba yun? Magpiprint sila ng sobrang daming pera. Tapos bibili sila ng cryptocurrency. Tapos, paano ba? Magpiprint sila ng sobrang dami sa kanila. So, yung pera na yun, kontrolado ba ng World Bank yun? Hindi ka ba basta-basta makakapag ano? O bababa value ng pera nila? Totoo naman yun, boss. Bababa value ng pera nila. Babagsak value niyan, boss. Hindi ko ma-explain lang eh. Parang wala ba siyang loophole na pwedeng gawin? Wala bang loophole na pwedeng gawin doon na magpiprint ka lang, bibili ka ng cryptocurrency tapos dadalin mo lang lahat sa inyo? For example, print ka ng sobrang daming pera tapos bilin mo lang lahat ng Bitcoin. Salagay mo lang sa bangko mo tapos punitin mo na. Hindi ba pwede yun? Ako nga. Di ba meron, kunyari gusto mo lang isalba yung ano nyo, yung bansa nyo para sa pagkakabankrupt. Tapos merong isang bangko na gagawa nun. Kaso baka bumagsak kasi yung asset no? Yun ang problema
Entities were offering sub-licenses to other operators.
Naisip ko lang, pre. Alam ko namang hindi.
And there could be one more reason the Philippines is cracking down.
Kasi nagawa nga ng US eh. Hindi naman naapektuhan ng sobra yung nila, market nila, pre. Dahil ba sila? Dahil ba US dollar yung ginagamit ng majority? Naalala nyo ng pandemic, nagprint sila ng sobrang daming dollar. Naapektuhan ba ng sobra yung inflation nila? Hindi naman eh. Iko-code ba yun? Inflation nga, boss. Kaya nga sa Money High series, nag-print sila sa sobrang perfect gamit. Lang nila sa black market. So may number nga pala yun. No? Utang kasi yung sa US. Pero kahit na, di ba? Ba't hindi kayang gawin ng lahat ng bansa yun? Bawiin na lang nila sa interest ng loan. Di ba? Ganon din naman eh. Exempted ba yung Amerika sa ganun? Or sila lang may utak na kayang gumawa nun? Di ba ganun din? Magprint tayo marami. Bawiin natin sa interest ng loan.
On Pogos, there is
alam ko mababa interest rate nun eh. Sa kanila.
Front for Chinese espionage. Politician Alice Guo is currently facing accusation of being a Chinese spy. She was the former mayor of Bamban, a Pogo haven, and was suspected to be linked to organized crime. Tensions between China and the Philippines have been high over territorial claims in the South China Sea.
So I think when the current administration weighed things, I think they saw that there are more negative impacts or results associated with Pogos as compared to its positive contribution to the economy.
Di man lang niya di naman lang niya in-itemize to. Ang daling sabihin eh. So I think when the current administration weighed things, I think they saw
that there are more negative
ano yung negative impacts? Ang daling ikwento eh, pero dapat i-itemize muna sana, di ba?
Impacts or results associated with Pogos as compared to its positive contribution to the economy.
Basta pag print ng pera, lahat yan, boss, may connection sa World Bank. Hindi ka pwede mag-declare ng pera. Okay. Kaya talaga pwede mag-print yun at ipautang.
According to the Department of Finance, Pogos led to more losses than gains. While economic benefits reached $2.8 billion annually, the estimated costs are almost double at $4.5 billion. The losses stem from Pogo-related crimes, which have also dampened foreign direct investment and tourism, as well as social costs, such as the psychological and physical harm to victims.
Over the long term, I think it will be more beneficial for the Philippines because, investing or allowing illegal activities to flourish for the purpose of economic activity is not really sustainable. It does not really send a good message to the international community and even in the local environment, right? Does not give a good message.
For Duterte,
crime ata, boss, sinasabi lumala daw. Lumala yung crime dun sa loob ng Pogo. Dun sa building ng Pogo, lumala yung crime. Pero yung dami na nag-online sugal, di naman nila nabawasan eh. Ganun pa rin naman.
Sell the idea of Pogos to the people, the gambling sites were not allowed to target Filipino gamblers. And while these online gambling operators initially catered to Chinese punters, they soon spread to other countries in Southeast Asia.
Kurang lebih dari 2 jam dapat 15 juta. Ketertarikan saya tentang judi itu langsung tinggi. Jadilah suatu fokus. Ketika saya bantai lagi, saya WD, saya bantai lagi depo, habis.
Gago. Pinapanalo. Ito yung literal na pinapanalo eh.
In Indonesia, even though gambling is illegal. Last year, the government recorded a total of 2.7
Siguro on
million.
ano talaga sila, kung against talaga sila sa Pogo, ban na lang nila lahat ng gambling sa Pilipinas. Yun ang pinakamaganda, boss, para matigil talaga yung addiction sa gambling. Pero may mga tao pa rin makakahanap ng way para makapagsugal sa online. Pero mas hassle. So mas hassle siya. So mas hindi siya reachable sa lahat ng tao.
Who gambled online regularly. Access to more than 800,000 gambling websites were blocked in the second half of 2023 alone, equivalent to the number of platforms removed in the previous 5 years combined. Most of the operators were found to be located in Cambodia and the Philippines.
So we've seen the user base really expand, especially from China towards other parts of Southeast Asia. And that's been driven by different factors. On the one hand, organized crime has traditionally been very good at identifying new target markets and growing their target markets to reach more people. On the other hand, we've also seen quite significant enforcement efforts and efforts to repress that kind of targeting the Chinese market within.
Malaki kasi yung kinikita ng government sa sugal, pagkor. Kaya, yun, exactly boss, yun nga yung point ko. Kung ang reason nila is tanggalin yung mga sugal, online sugal, yung mga Pogo, online sugal. Kung ang gusto talaga nila, mawala yung online sugal, kaya tinanggal yung Pogo. Sana tinanggal na nila lahat. Ngayon, hindi nila matanggal yung mga sugalan sa pagkor kasi nga kumikita sila. Kumikita rin naman yung government sa mga taxes na kinukonsume ng pagkain ng mga Chinese, yung tinitirahan ng mga Chinese, yung sinasakyan ng Chinese, lahat ng consumable ng Chinese, kumikita yung gobyerno. So, kung regarding sa pagkita, kumikita yung pagkor sa sugal, kumikita rin yung pagkor sa mga Chinese na nagpopogo. Yung SIM registration nga parang wala lang dami rin. Oo nga sayang yung implementation yan Ang dami nating ini-implement na halos walang kwenta talaga. Naalala niyo yung pag-iisay na lang daw lahat ng ID? Ewan ko na nangyari doon. Ito pa isa sa masakit na katotohanan, boss. Ayaw ng mga mayaman sa atin na masenso lahat ng Pinoy kasi wala na magtatrabaho pa. Ito totoo naman yan, boss. Kahit sa bansa. Hindi kayo pwedeng pantay-pantay. Meron laging isang mas mataas. Aside pa din dyan, ang laki ng issue nila sa Pogo pero tahimik sila daily. Every other day, weekly may nananalo sa loto ang tindi. Isa pa yan, no?
China,
national
which
ID.
Also led criminal organizations to look to other countries for victims.
The total bets placed in Indonesia last year amounted to more than $20 billion,
Grabe.
triple the amount in 2022.
Commercial gambling, it can be easily accessed digitally. Usually, when you see someone falling into a gambling addiction, it can be because of you are using social media and then an ad pops up. And it is actually inviting
Streamer
you to
dito, may
gamble
kasalanan yun.
online. And then you can get addicted to it simply by trying, and then you get used to it.
Streamer dito may kasalanan yan, boss. Ang dami kasing ang daming streamer sa Pilipinas na lahat ng stream nila lagi silang nananalo, pre. So ikaw yung merong hindi kasi lahat ng tao matalino, boss. Meron talagang bobong tao na akala nila legit yung panalo mo. So ngayon, naiinggit yung mga bobong tao na yon na akala nila pag nilaro nila yung link mo, mananalo rin sila. So may mga ganun kasi. Ang daming scripted dyan, boss. Kung naalala nyo yung sino nga ulit yun? May nagko-content yan May nagko-content yan. Ang kinontent niya yung laging nagpe-flex ngayon ng sports car, yung Kimpi, yung laging nakamask. Yun yung isa. Tapos, yung sa ML na mahilig mag-funny, yun yung mga kino-content niya. Doon ko napanood yun. Yung kay Awit yun, napanood ko rin yun. Yung kay, kay AC naman yan. Di mo kasi masisi ang streamer dahil ang laki ng bayad sa kanila. Kasi ngayon, totoo rin naman yan, boss. Totoo rin naman yan. Kahit, basta kapag meron ka ng konting viewership social media, lalapitan ka talaga ng mga ganyang sugal, boss. Pati ba sa Zapno, hindi ko alam Pero yun ang nakita ko lagi niya kinokontent, yung Kimpi na laging naka-mask.
And the sense of winning that is also addictive. And you would like to feel it again. Or even if you lose, you have this curiosity of wanting to come back, and hopefully one day you will win and you have that sense of winning.
Sehingga 15 juta itu kurang lebih 3 jam habis. Saya nggak rela, ya kan, kehilangan itu. Akhirnya depo lagi. Depo lagi 10 juta. Habis. Depo lagi 20 juta. Kasih kemenangan sampai 50.
Alam mo boss, totoo lang, kung nagbabayad lang ng tamang buwis lahat ng mayayaman sa atin. Hindi naman lahat talaga hindi naman kasalanan ng mayayaman yan, boss. Para sa akin kasi nung isang araw kino-compute namin yung total contribution kasi 'di ba nag-increase yung contribution ng SSS. So assuming lang na lahat ng tao na nagtatrabaho sa Pilipinas, 40 million yung tao, boss. 40 million daw ng tao nagtatrabaho sa Pilipinas. Tapos assuming lang, boss, na ang sahod nila 17k to 18k. So ang SSS mo nun parang magkano nga ulit yun mga boss kung naalala nyo? Table 2025. Pakita ko sa inyo. Assuming na 25,000 lang lahat, 17,000 lang lahat ng sahod ng tao sa Pilipinas. Kunyari lang, boss, EOA na natin. Halimbawa walang mataas sa 17,000. So nandito yung range ng sahod nila. Ito. So ang monthly na nakukuha ng SSS, boss, 2.5. Monthly to Ang alam ko monthly to. Monthly salary, so monthly contribution din siguro to 2.5. Correct nyo ako mali mga boss So merong data yung sino ba yung nag-gather ng data? Basta meron data tayo na nakita na 40 million plus daw yung tao na nagtatrabaho sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, for example, 17,000 lang sahod ng 40 million na tao na to. Halimbawa lang boss lahat tayo halos minimum. Tapos yung 17,000 na yun, ang kailangan mong ibigay sa SSS doon, 2.5 per month. 40 million tama, di ba? 40 million ba yung na-type ko? Sa ba't masyadong lumalaki? So 40 million times 2.5. So meron silang 100 billion. Tama ba to? Parang ang laki. 17. So monthly contribution to, di ba? Monthly ba to? I-divide pa to sa 12. Tingin ko monthly to, boss. Feeling ko monthly to. Parang mas lumaki ngayon. So imagine nyo na to, boss. Monthly to. Monthly na nakukuha ng SSS sa lahat na nagtatrabaho ng 17,000 lang yung sahod. Times 12. Billion ba to? 1.2 billion, no? Million. Billion. Ano to? Trillion? Trillion ba? 40 million working employee in Philippines 2025. So ba natin nakita yung data? Basta nasa 40 million eh. Trillion, no? Hindi pa kasama dyan, boss, yung Yan pa lang yung hulog mo. Hindi pa kasama dyan yung iuhulog ng employer mo. Ay, total na pala yun, sorry. So ito yung sa'yo. Ito yung sa employer mo. Okay, total na pala to. So tama, nasa ganun nga. So 40 million yung nakita natin. Fact check nyo na lang yan, boss. So sabihin na lang natin sample to. So times 2.5, assuming na 17,000 na lahat ng sahod natin. So monthly meron silang ganito. Ganyang kalaki, boss. Hindi kailangan mayaman yung tao, boss, para kumita ng sobrang laki yung gobyerno. SSS pa lang to, boss,
Kaya kan habisnya. Ibaratnya kalah 10 kali.
Rich Dad Poor Dad nag-explain niya paano ginagawa yung loopholes tax. Umutang nga lang. Lubog siya ngayon sa utang, pre. Alam mo, lubog siya sa utang, Huwag kayo lagi maniniwala sa mga influencer, lalo sa online, pre.
Menang cuma 1 kali. Tapi kalau menang itu bisa gila-gilaan. Sampai 200.
Maraming gumaya sa kanya, lubog din sa utang.
Sungguh luar biasa, happy. Ya kan? Tapi balik lagi. Efek candu saya, dopamin saya naik, meningkat. Candu ini mungkin mengalahkan kasih sayang saya kepada keluarga, Pak.
This psychiatry hospital in Bogor, in West Java, started treating gambling addicts this year.
SSS
It has
Table
since seen
2025.
over 100 patients.
They come with anxiety, depression, excessive worries, etc. And secondly, we also witness distress and significant impairment in many important areas of functioning. For instance, the inability to work.
Ay, ito. Ay, gagi. Na-close ko ba? Na-close ko pala. Ito. In September 2024, the number of employed people in the Philippines was estimated 48,157,000. So, kulang pa nga yung nilagay natin. LFS showed that the country recorded a total number of 45 million employed individuals in January 24. Ito pala oh. DOF.government. Ayun, meron pala silang data online. Oh. Dito na lang kayo tumingin. 45.9 million. Wag na to. AI generated to eh. Pero galing din naman to sa mga data sa online. Pero doon na kayo sa
To study, to socialize as a person, as a family member.
Treatment takes up to 3 months, involving counseling and therapy to alter their behavior.
This gambling addiction can definitely influence a person, but at the same time, him or her as a part of society. One, if they get into economic problems such as debt and they owe people money, he or she can commit crimes.
Totoo yan?
In order to get money to pay their debts.
Totoo yan, boss. Kaya feeling ko talaga habang dumadami yung online sugal, kaya sinabi natin kanina na habang dumadami yung na-addict sa online sugal, tataas yung crime rate natin.
With Arif. Within a span of 12 months, Arif racked up $220,000 in debt, forcing him to mortgage his house and sell all his assets.
Menipu, memolasif dengan cara argumentasi ke klien, ada biaya ini, padahal nggak ada. Masuk ke rekening saya. Sampai biaya success fee seharusnya ke kantor, itu masuknya ke saya. Ayo Pak, bayar lewat rekening saya, nanti saya kasih diskon 10%. Saya buat kwitansi palsu. Sehingga mereka menerima.
He'd embezzled hundreds of millions of rupiah from his company.
Waktu itu bulan Januari, kantor meledak, datang ke rumah, memberitahu seorang ke istri saya.
Thank you, Dris. Salamat, Dris.
Menggelapkan dana kantor. Langsung istri saya menceraikan saya.
Tingnan ko ngayon number bets din.
Saya bermain judi dengan dana kantor. Dampaknya ke keluarga, Pak. Itu atas kegoblokan saya, Pak. Setahun yang lalu, saya zona aman banget. Saya sekolah yang mahal ke anak. Makanan terjamin, gizinya kejamin. Jajan kejamin.
Gago, sinira niya rin yung buhay ng pamilya niya, pre. Nasa exclusive na school yung anak niya. May anak pa siya.
Setelah saya berjudi, semua seolah terbalik. Anak-anak cuma makan nasi sama tahu. Itu pun pagi doang. Anak-anak udah seminggu nggak jajan. Karena nggak pegang uang. Anak-anak mau beli buku. Nggak sekolah. Karena malu.
Aku kawawa yung anak.
Sama teman-temannya.
Since 2020, online gambling has been one of the top 5 reasons for divorce in Indonesia. And about 4 in 5 gamblers were from the middle to lower income groups, scarcely able to afford the habit. And so in June this year, then President Joko Widodo vowed to crack down on this vice.
Pemerintah juga terus secara serius memberantas dan
Yan ang tama,
memerangi.
boss. Tanggalin na nila lahat. Tanggalin nila yung scatter. Tanggalin nila yung online betting ng sports betting. Yan ang pinakatama, boss. Tanggalin nila lahat. Kung ang main concern nila is mawala yung addiction ng mga Pilipino, tanggalin nila, boss. Hindi lang yung pogo. Dapat talaga tanggalin nila lahat, boss. Sobrang lala ng, mas sabi nga nila, pag galit ka sa tao, kunyari galit na galit ka sa tao, kaibigan mo saglit tapos turuan mo magsugal.
Perjudian online dan sampai saat ini sudah lebih dari 2,1 juta situs judi online sudah ditutup.
The job of taking down these sites fall on a newly formed online gambling prevention task force.
Every single day, we take down more than 5,000 to 10,000 contents or apps every single day. We have a cyber patrol that's scanning keywords related to online gambling and monitoring from the public report. Also, we freeze
Yan, tama
bank
yan.
accounts.
Ano ba
But
sa ato,
because these
Vietnam?
gambling sites exist online, the bans can be bypassed through VPNs, or if betting is done through intermediaries, it's a game of cat and mouse.
What we've seen is time and time again is that criminal
Pero at least may
groups are
ginagawa sila. At least hassle na ngayon laruin.
ahead of these
Mas hassle na ngayon laruin.
regulations. Given the speed at which some of these develops, what we're seeing is, if one place is shut down, with an IP address somewhere, it just pops up somewhere else, and shutting them all down and blocking all of them is almost impossible.
What makes online gambling especially insidious
Uy, si
is
Boss
how
Alden.
they advertise to potential punters.
On social media, you put a marketing campaign for an online casino, and people will go to that, right? Some of these operations are very sophisticated in how they advertise. Some of them have their logos on major sport teams in different parts of the world.
Most social media platforms don't ban gambling ads. And research by Bristol University showed that some of these ads are not age restricted, meaning even children could be exposed to them.
Yung advertisement nila talagang catchy. Na tapos bibigyan ka pa ng promises na just register, you will have this certain credit. Siyempre tao, yung credit na yan, pwede kong gawing pera yan.
While licensed pogos were not allowed to serve Filipino clients, Pinoy punters can still access illegal ones. Former gambler Reagan Prafarosa
Bawal daw sa atin?
Yan, pwede kong gawing pera yan.
While licensed pogos were not allowed to serve Filipino clients,
Yung mga license pogo, bawal tayong i-cater. Okay, gets.
while licensed pogos were not allowed to serve Filipino clients, Pinoy punters can still access illegal ones. Former gambler Reagan Prafarosa operates a helpline for gambling addicts, and he receives an average of 3 calls a night, many of whom are women.
Some parents are
Women,
calling
no?
for us regarding
Ang ano
minors
to?
that
Mga housewife to, majority.
has access in these certain games, because they always blame it with the restriction that it's so open, it's so minimal. Gambling now became more accessible for
Totoo
the
yan.
normal people.
Hindi na
You just need
hassle.
to download a certain app and you can play already with a minimum bet.
Even Philippine mobile payment applications like GCash and Maya have in-app games where users can place bets. GCash has over 90 million active users, which makes up 75% of the country's population.
Sino ba bang walang Gcash ngayon?
Norms of the
60 years old
people,
pataas?
when it's inside that certain app, it's legit. So I rather play this because andito na rin yung hub for the cash in and the cash out.
What impact will Southeast Asia's crackdown on gambling have?
Yeah, love.
In the aftermath of the POGO ban announcement in July, the real estate sector has taken a hit. It's a sign of how massive the industry had been in the Philippines.
In fact, in 2019, during President Duterte's term, the office space occupied by these POGOs reached 1.3 million square meters of office space. No? That is equivalent to about 10% of total leasable office space in Metro Manila. That dropped to about 3.5% to less than 2% right now. At some point, the lease rates in the Bay Area at about 1,200, 1,300 pesos per square meter for a very small, say 20, 25 square meter studio residential condominium unit. But now we're likely to see substantial correction, even less than 1,000 pesos per square meter, 800, 900 pesos.
Damn.
Many of these condos were rented by foreign workers in the online gambling sector. But after July, some 30,000 of them were given 60 days to leave the country. As for Filipinos, about 40,000 have also lost their jobs. Jerome is still waiting to hear back from the companies he has applied to.
Minabalitaan po ako na nag-open sila ng mga job hiring. Pero, kumbaga, ang nakita ko pa parang limited lang. Limited lang yung pumunta kasi yung job hiring po na ino-offer nila is hindi po nakasanayan ng mga former employee.
PUGCOR also reported a loss of $390 million in revenue from the ban on POGOs. Nevertheless, the majority support Marcos Jr.'s move. Based on an Okta research survey of 1,200 Filipinos in June, 8 in 10 are in favor of the ban.
Kasi, kung tutusin, kung hahanap nga naman tayo ng disenteng trabaho, alam natin na hindi ganun kataas kasi alam naman natin yung standard po dito sa Pilipinas.
Engineer dito, starting 18K.
Isa po yung sa mga nakapanghinayang. Pero, tanggap na po eh. Sa kabilang banda, nakikita ko na rin po na okay na rin na naban yung POGO kasi laking naging bawas sa dagok ng gobyerno natin yung POGO. Kasi nga, hindi lang po Pilipinas yung napiperwisyo nila, pati ibang bansa. Kaya laking tulong po na naibaban yung POGO talaga.
Sabagay.
Well, the POGO ban would have an immediate effect on the property sector.
Para sa akin talaga, okay din talaga na binan yung POGO. Talagang naano lang talaga ako sa baka politika lang kasi yung naging dahilan. Pero kailangan talaga, sana wala na talagang pumasok talaga na POGO talaga, boss. Kasi ang hirap eh, nagiging issue na lang siya eh. Legit boss, tapos 3 site papahawak sa'yo. Ano yan sa POGO?
The tens of thousands of Filipinos who directly work in this industry. But overall, I would say it would be beneficial to the country. I think the country does not need a lot of this. What the country needs would be investments in manufacturing, in agriculture, in its productive industries. The Philippines does not want to be seen as a place where criminal groups go to.
But there are concerns that the ban will
18K sa engineer,
drive
no? Bisa nga 15 pa yan eh.
operators into hiding.
This is now a challenge for the intelligence community and for the defense and security sector on how they would enforce the instruction of the Philippine president for the total ban of the POGO. Definitely.
Tama lang yan, ban na talaga dapat yung POGO. Sana hindi na talaga sila mga pasok.
If not properly enforced.
What the president's ban affects are licensed POGOs. But with it still being a multi-billion-dollar industry, there is an incentive to continue operating illegally. There are concerns that online casinos may hide under the guise of a business process outsourcing company, or BPO, such as call centers.
They're becoming more tricky to catch, primarily because they've gone underground. But the real challenge is to make sure that they don't evolve into something else that our economy could absorb them into. So they could say that they're simply a BPO, but well, in fact, they're actually taking bets and paying out winning bets.
When countries like Vietnam and Cambodia banned online gambling, some of these operations shifted to other jurisdictions, like Myanmar. The same could happen with POGOs. The Philippines Department of Justice warned in October that Timor-Leste could be the next destination for online gambling operators.
The phenomenon that we've seen many times in this case is what we call displacement of criminality in the region. What that means is basically once you start to crack down on operations in one place and close, let's say, online gambling operations, they essentially move very quickly to another part of the region where there's less law enforcement pressure.
Offshore gaming licenses in Timor-Leste are expected to be issued by the end of this year, with the president's support. The hope is that it will bring economic benefits to the island nation, reminiscent of Duterte's move back in 2016. However, the next
pag ito hindi nila tinanggal, malaki rin makukuha nilang tax dito. Mabawasan yung parang pagcore nila dyan. Pero dadami pa, makakuha na din silang tax yan, magkakaroon din ng trabaho. Pero yun nga yun kasi talagang pinaka ano dyan, boss eh. Hindi mo talaga mauubos yan. Mapapalipat mo lang sila ng operation nila. Pero hindi mo mauubos yan. Lalo sa Pilipinas na meron din namang allowed na online sugal.
Of online gambling could be more dangerous.
Cryptocurrency is used on a regular basis as just one of their ways of operating, which makes it much more difficult for authorities in the region to trace and follow money flows. Or whether it's things like artificial intelligence being used to specifically target a certain user base or to scam victims into gambling more and losing more money as part of that industry. It's really something that the criminals involved in these operations have been very good at adopting.
It's also a good opportunity out of this misfortune that we experience from POGOs, where we have to speed up also our ecosystem when it comes to cybersecurity, because the world is changing now.
With the POGO ban, the Philippines joins the rest of ASEAN in banning online casinos. Cambodia banned them in 2019.
Ban na lang nila lahat ng online casino.
The gambling problem is so severe that in this year's ASEAN summit in Laos, the group, together with China, labeled it a regional nuisance. The bloc also pledged to prioritize enforcement cooperation to clamp down on the vice.
If the countries don't come together to form joint responses and to link up in their responses, it's almost going to be impossible to address these and be effective against them. We're not yet at a point where we see a very coherent regional response turning into coherent regional action, but it's definitely going into a direction where different regional framework, whether it's ASEAN or whether it's smaller groupings of countries, are coming together to define common responses.
By the end of 2024, licensed POGOs will cease operations in the Philippines. But how long will this ban last? With the midterm elections next year, POGOs may return should the Dutertes make a political comeback. Meanwhile, current Vice President Sara Duterte is expected to make a bid for the presidency in 2028.
The past administration branded POGO
Sara?
as an economic incentive or part of economic investments coming from the Chinese mainland. So if the Duterte assumes power again, it will not be hard to imagine that, this will again
Grabe yung sisi nila sa
have
Duterte dito.
that same branding as it did when they were in power.
Ultimately, the online gambling bans are just one step to curb the gambling addiction sweeping Southeast Asia. The Philippines, for one, still has the largest number of physical casinos in Asia, while some gambling sites have morphed into what look like legitimate apps, but with betting mechanics.
I think it's becoming more mainstream now. If you go around Manila, for example, you will see a lot of billboards advertising all of these online gaming services. I think that will continue to flourish. But I think stronger regulation is the key here, right? Being able to, for example, prohibit people who are underage to be part of these gaming activities.
Mahirap kapag bata pa lang naumpisa na yung addiction sa gambling.
Mga regretful na yan, mga yan. And they know the idea of changing themselves, but since the addiction is so powerful, hindi nila magawa kasi nga meron silang certain perception na still they can gain money to change their life. Tingnan mo, mas worse pa to sa drugs right now.
Saya nggak pungkiri masih ada. Saya belum menyatakan hilang 100%. 20% masih ada. Masih berharap. Kadang-kadang melihat promo-promo judi.
Mas worse nga siya talaga sa drugs. Kasi makikita mo yung mga makikita mo yung mga influencer nilalaro sa online eh. Mas worse talaga siya kasi mas madali siyang gayahin. Yung drugs kasi wala ka na makikitang influencer ang ginagamit sa online yun. Kaya feeling ko mas worse, totoo yung sinabi niya, mas worse pa to sa mga drugs. Mas nakaka-addict siya. And kasi minsan kasi mas mukhang siya eh. Mukha siyang legal kasi merong mga laro talaga na online sugal na legal talaga.